Well, hey everybody, testing out the live stream for the first time. Let's see how it goes because I couldn't test out these buttons before. Say share screen, select a window or screen. Yeah, okay. Um, does that work? I'd say that's a bit strange. Oh no, not yet. Close that. Have them two separate windows. Here we go. Um, this is not what I wanted, but it's like that. Yeah, still sharing. I hope so. Yeah. All right, I guess I'm good. Yeah, I guess just time. Sound. See, this is Mimi. Mimi is my biggest gecko. Yeah, well, I've learned about geckos definitely the past 2 days that you want to wear a shirt that's fully cotton. These ones are not fully cotton. So anyway, so I'm going to start the presentation very soon. Happy this is working. So, boom, here we go. The UDA threat to the island of Ireland. The Social Defence Association, also known as the UDA, is the largest loyalist paramilitary group in Northern Ireland's history. It's a legacy of violence, organized crime, drug trafficking, and community influence. During the Troubles, from 1969 to 1998, responsible for over 400 deaths, primarily targeting Catholic civilians. So, on my YouTube channel, I've covered the threat of dissident Republicans and the politicians linked to them in this live stream. Just going to focus on the UDA. So, the UDA has vowed to keep up its attacks on Catholic homes in territories that it considers to be a Unionist or Protestant area. I think the most recent case would have been a week ago in Belfast. So we do have the ongoing threat of these drug gangs chasing Catholics, as in most likely to be ethnically Irish people, out of their homes. So there's also been bomb threats made to Irish speaking schools this year and all last year. I can see a lot of social media accounts constantly being abusive towards Irish speaking people and stating clearly that they're going to continue making bomb threats to Irish speaking schools. So here we have two pieces of evidence of the threat that UDA has on its island, one being chasing Catholics at their homes, which sounds like, so far from the reports, that seems to be local drug dealers who are connected to the UDA, and they want to shut down schools. So they're against education and particularly the Irish language. So we regularly see anti-Irish and anti-Catholic activity every year, the 12th of July. They make these effigies with Irish flags. They clearly don't want Catholics in Antrim or people with Irish background. I think it's more important to emphasize the fact that it's people with an Irish background because they also target Protestants as well. So this is something that we have to put up every year, and some years are worse than others because these anti-Irish marches, what we usually see is threats to kill Catholics because, yeah, Northern Irish politics is confusing for people who aren't Irish. Right, Mimi? Uh, the main political divide is between unionists and nationalists, and the extremist version is loyalists versus Republicans, but it's often described as Protestants versus Catholics. But there's a growing number of Northern Irish Protestants embracing Irish culture. Whoop. Yeah. So within the UDA, there's splits, particularly North Belfast versus East Belfast. I remember last year there was a big showdown between the two. So while the UDA was the largest loyalist gang in history, nowadays it is mostly just drug dealers. And the homes that I showed you before, where Catholics were chased out of, they were close to drug dens and drug houses. And that's probably why they really want to get Catholics out of their neighborhoods. So there's division between the UDA because a lot of them are drug dealers. They're going to be fighting over territory. They want someone wants to be the big boss. There's going to be rivalry, and they do shoot each other. So loyalist gangs, despite they state that they want to kill Catholics, and they're very anti-Irish, and they're chasing Irish people out of their homes, they're still more likely to kill their own, which is the point I'm trying to make here. So my threat analysis, I'm going to call this low to mid-level paramilitary threat. It is a threat. I, as an Irishman, would like to go to Northern Ireland and purchase a home there, and I don't want to be chased out by a UDA gang. But it's not as bad as it was before, and it looks like the PSNI, the police force in the police services Northern Ireland, they're quite supportive. The largest threat is the criminal threat. UDA's primary threat stems from its entrenched role in organized crime, including drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering. These activities destabilize communities, harm local economies, fuel intra-loyalist conflicts, and the PSNI's ongoing operations indicate that law enforcement is prioritizing disruption of these networks. So there is a team, there is actually a special team particularly for this, and even Unionists and Protestants want to tackle this problem because, as we have a dissident Republican problem in Dublin, and they have a UDA problem in Belfast. The majority of nationalists, the majority of Unionists, the majority of Catholics, the majority of Protestants and Jews want to get rid of all the gangs altogether. So, despite there is a paramilitary threat, it is something that we do have the resources and abilities to take care of. So this is what I'd like to see. more cross-border communication. As a nationalist in Dublin, it's very hard to get news or information what's going on in Belfast or Northern Ireland. I do talk to I do talk to some nationalists in Northern Ireland, but it tends to be Unionists and Protestants that talk to the most. And I talk to cross community political organizations, and I'm a big fan of Tony Mallon's work in Belfast, and I'm a more obviously I'm more nationalist than he is, but we have a lot of things in common, and we both agree that we want to get rid of all the terror groups from Ireland from a cross community point of view. So if there's any Catholics, Protestants, or Jewish people in Belfast or Northern Ireland that is worried about either distant Republicans, the UDA, or anti-Semitic violence, you can contact me. I'll report on it, and we can have more live streams like this where we communicate with each other. So, coming to the end of the presentation, just like to plug the Liberty Soup Run. This is a soup kitchen in Dublin. It's a van, or I think there's two vans now, providing food to homeless people in Dublin. And there's Chris's phone number if you'd like a contact. And hopefully I'll be editing this video to include that link, so in case you want to make a donation. Rev Morgan, good bra. All right. So looking forward to seeing if the live stream works. And I can do it with a gecko on me. The male things on a few more, but like I said, it's the cotton t-shirts that they like. These polyester mixes, they don't seem to like them very much. But anyway, Slán,